Hello guys, this is What About Nintendo, and today I'm here with another news update video. Today we're going to be talking about the sales of the SNES Classic, or more specifically, the Nintendo Classic Mini Super Famicom, because we're going to be talking about the Japan sales numbers. However, we're just going to refer to it as the SNES and the NES because that's way easier to say. I don't want to keep saying the Nintendo Classic Mini Super Famicom, that's just annoying. So just know when I say the SNES Classic, I really mean the Super Famicom Classic. But let's get right on into it. So, we now know the first week sales numbers for the SNES Classic, which is 368,913, but for ease of numbers, we're going to round that up to 370,000 units. Now this is 110,000 units more than the NES Classic, which sold 260,000 units in its first week, and goes along with what Nintendo was saying of us getting more stock than we did for the NES Classic. However, it's a little bit less than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting twice as much. They kind of promised that we would get, in day one, we were supposed to get more units than the NES Classic did in its first couple months, and we really didn't get that because in its first couple months, or from the time it released to the end of that year 2016, the NES Classic sold 560,000 units. However, we only got 370,000 in Japan. However, they may have been referring to worldwide numbers, so it's hard to say. We don't know how much it sold in North America and Europe and all those kind of places. We don't know how much sold there, so it could be that maybe they got more of stock. Obviously they got more stock, but more relative stock to how much it sold or how much was shipped there. That's more, and that equals up to that amount, but it's hard to say at this point. However, I do expect, obviously, that the SNES Classic will sell more than the NES Classic did. The NES Classic ended up selling throughout its first year twice as much as was shipped launch day. A little bit more than that, 260 versus 560. That's about 60% more than it did launch day. So I expect if the SNES Classic does that same thing, I'm expecting roughly 800,000 to, if we're really lucky with the stock, 1 million SNES Classics compared to only 560,000 NES Classic. However, I'm not any kind of insider. I'm not some kind of genius or any kind of person like that knows these numbers or sales or anything. I'm just guessing. I'm just a normal Nintendo fan guessing. So don't take my word for it. If it doesn't sell 800,000 to 1 million at the end of the year, don't be like, oh, but what about Nintendo done told us it was gonna get all that? I didn't. I'm just guessing here, guys. I don't know things. You think I know things? No, I don't know these things. But obviously it's selling better than the NES Classic. We're getting more stock. 110,000 more units is nothing to scoff at. That is a lot more units, but still, as I said, not as many as I was hoping. But we don't know how big the next shipments will be. Obviously, even with the crappy stock of the NES Classic, we got another 300,000 units by the end of the year. I'm expecting way more than that. I'm expecting them to keep stock up just like they did, which is why I expect it could reach 1 million sales, even though the NES Classic was only able to reach 560,000, because Nintendo is promising way more stock. And they're not only promising stock on day one, which is pretty much what we got for the NES. We got stock on day one, and we got like trickles of stock throughout the end of the year. I'm expecting like shipments of 100,000, 200,000 to start coming in like every month until the years, and maybe even more than that. We might even see launch day stock selling throughout every single month. Is that really too realistic? I don't know. It's hard to say. That seems a little far-fetched that we would get. Typically, you don't get launch day sales every single month. Unless when you have stock issues and stuff. I don't know. It's possible that could happen. It's definitely possible. It's just not something I see that's as easy to do, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to say with Nintendo. Their stock seems to be kind of all over the place sometimes. They get really good stock, sometimes they get really bad stock. It's hard to say. But I think they are doing better, and we may see 2,000 to 3,000 or 100,000 units shipped every month. And that would be really good. If we only get 100 to 200,000, that'd still be fine. But I'm really hoping for 200,000 to 300,000 shipped every single month. Maybe a bit of a lofty goal, I'm not sure, but that's just what I'm hoping for. But it's really, really interesting when we see sales figures for North America and Europe, and we can put all this together to see just how much the SNES how much more stock it got in its first week than the NES Classic, because we were promised a lot more stock. And so far we're seeing a pretty good amount, but not as much as I was hoping. But it's still going to be interesting to see when we get you know, sales and stock numbers for Europe and North America, and hopefully they can keep that stock up so we can get more SNES Classics, because I don't actually have one. I don't have one yet. I really want one. Like, I really want one. I didn't get an NES Classic because the stock was absolutely horrible. Stock for SNES seems to be way better, at least in the United States, where, you know, some stores are getting 10, now they're getting upwards of 110. So it seems the stock is way better in America, even more so than in Japan, but we'll just have to see for official numbers to know for sure. But anyways, guys, that's all for this video. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more update videos like this Monday through Friday. Also, make sure to check out my Twitch channel and my gaming channel where I stream. Since YouTube gave me a strike on my channel unfairly, I cannot stream on this channel anymore and for 90 days or until they fix the strike. Hopefully they'll do that soon. But until then, I'll be streaming on those channels. So make sure to go check them out both in the description below. Also, make sure to subscribe to those, because those get regular update as well. Twitch, I always stream on. And my gaming channel, as soon as this whole live stream debacle is over, we'll start getting regular video-based Let's Plays, like actual real Let's Plays on that channel. So make sure to check those both out. But I'll see you guys later on What About Nintendo. Bye!